If you're working on ukulele and you're trying to get better at it in a fairly rapid manner, you want to make sure that you're playing every single day. Do a little bit of practice, 10 to 15 minutes at a time. That's pretty much all it takes to start the rewiring of your brain and to start getting just enough information in that you can absorb it one day at a time. Make sure you're repeating everything that you've learned, that you're telling yourself what you're doing, making sure you say these things out loud, name your notes and name your chords as you do them. You can even stop to draw these things. Draw the picture of your ukulele and fill in the notes. Draw the chords you know as well as playing them. Look at your hands and figure out which finger is going where in each chord. Review and repetition are the key. Let's go through everything we know already. This picture of your ukulele again looks upside down to you. If I had that picture and my ukulele lying in my lap, what would end up happening is they look exactly the same. The string closest to me is that G string. When I pick up my ukulele, I pick it up on one plane and the G becomes the highest note from the floor. We still call it the lowest note, but it's the furthest from the floor. When I pick up the music and put it here, then that plane has turned the other way and the G is the lowest written one. So it actually looks upside down of your ukulele. You may have to keep reminding yourself of that. That's not an obvious fact. Even at the point where you think you've absorbed that, you probably haven't and you may have to check it again. So our strings are G, C, E, and A. Good children eat apples. G, C, E, A. Go backward once you know them. A, E, C, G. E, C, E, A, E, C, G, C, E, C, E, A. Mix them up like that. We've learned that we're going alphabetically on ukulele, just like we do on any other instrument. If you read your notes going up a staff, you'd have A, then B, then C, then D, then E, going higher. If you saw them on a glockenspiel or a piano, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they're going left to right. On ukulele, we're doing the same. The nut is giving us this full length of an open string. The first string is A, the nut gives you the A note. Your finger, when it frets up 2 frets away, is moving a nut really to the 2nd fret. So we've moved from open A up 2 frets to B. It's gotten higher. So the letter has to go higher in the alphabet. A to B, and C is right beside it. A, B, C. Memorize those. A, B, C, C, B, A. B, A, B, C, C, A, C, B. We looked last time at the notes on the E string. They have to go alphabetically as well. So if E is the nut, F is the next note. E to F to G. That's alphabetical, of course, as well. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. After G, we start over on A. So these are actually in order, although they don't look like they are. We've got E, F, G. The next note after G in music is A, not H. E, F, G, H. Nope. A, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, B, A, G, F, E. You can memorize those now. C to B, C to A, C to G, C to F, C to E. That's actually a pretty low song. I'm going to play that again. Yeah, that's kind of nice. You could practice that. So I went from C to each note. C to B, C to A, C to G, C to F, C to E. We start learning our chords immediately because they're very important to ukulele players. The ukulele is a very social instrument and it's often learned for the purpose of gathering and playing in groups. So it's very communal and the chords allow us to sing and play songs together. The chords look like your ukulele if it were facing you. So where this C note is on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, it appears there as well in the C chord. The opens, the O's, are strings that are played without frets. So we've got these open strings and the C note. C7 has your finger on the same string, 1st fret. Notice it's easy to go from one to the other. So that's why we learn them together. Then we take that finger from the 1st string and move it to the 2nd string, and it's an F chord. It's a specialized F called the F2. On your first couple of days, that's all we need to know. We can call it our F as long as you know that we're going to change our F as we go. So C, C7, and F2. We learned a few songs that would use those chords. Coconut, we could play with the C7. Frere Jacques, we could play with a C. Or we could play it with an F. We can play it with any one chord that we know, any one major chord. So we've got C, practice this, say its name as you play, C7, move to the other string for F. If you can add the second finger onto the fourth string, go ahead. If you have to add it in stages, do that for now. F without it, F with it. Over time, you want to be able to make all your chords in one group. You don't want to have to place one finger at a time. But as you're learning them, that's going to be part of the process, is putting one finger down. Name your chords again as you go. C, C7, F2, or F add 2, the actual F. And now we can learn our G7, from here especially. The pointer stays where it is. That's called an anchor finger. You see it sitting here on the second string of an F and in a G7. If we're playing the F with this finger on the fourth string, you can see it's going to move to the third string on the G7 chord, and we add the ring finger to the second fret of the first string. So we get this triangle. I start with the pointer on the second string and add these two fingers on the second frets of the first and the third string. You might try them like this. You should notice you're getting all crossed up, and that's not the better way to play your chord. You want your lower numbered finger on the lower string when possible. The other thing you will find is if you're stacking your fingers up in this second fret, they can get a little cramped, and you can buy them some room by turning your wrist away toward the head of the ukulele. I think you can't see that here. It looks like I'm just bending it, but I'm turning it away so fingers, instead of pointing up and down, are pointing more along the length of the ukulele. You see how much more room these fingers have then. As we spoke of last time, these are going to have to be on their tips. If this finger is playing the third string, but leaning over and killing the second string, I'm ruining my chord. So we have to buckle this onto its tip. And that's your G7. We played songs where we played the F chord and the C7 last time. In the key of F, F is the one chord, you're starting on it, so you count alphabetically. F, G, A, B, C is the 5. So F's and C's went together. He's Got the Whole World in His Hands would do those. Tom Dooley would do them. So you could do F and C7 or F and C. It doesn't really matter in some songs. I can do the 5 chord, the C, with a 7 on it or not. So we can do Tom Dooley. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry on a C chord. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. Back to the F. It could still be an F2 if you liked. About this time tomorrow, reckon where he'll be. I could do C7. Down in the lonesome valley, hanging from the old oak tree. F2 or F, C7 or C. Either one's going to be fine in that song. Then we moved on, we've learned a G7. So now I have the same relationship. If F's 5 chord, F, G, A, B, C, is a C chord, and that could be C7 or C, then C's 5 chord, C, D, E, F, G, is G or G7. So now that we know G7, we could play C's and G7s. Notice how I'm going to move this. My ring finger on the C note I'm not going to pick up this chord and start rebuilding a G7. I'll take this note from a C chord, slide it into the second fret, and add these other 2 notes. Look how that's working from my wrist and arm, rather than coming in here and then moving fingers around. Your hand will actually learn how to shape the entire chord for you. I don't pretend that that's something you're going to get in the first day, weeks, or even months, but that's something to think about as you play. As I move, these fingers join me. So your practice is not to do an entire song, but to practice this movement. You can even do it like I'm doing at this moment, where you just repeat the movement even without playing them, or play them. when I do Tom Dooley, I can do the same chords now, but in C. You can have a piece of paper that has the lyrics written out and over the words F's and C7s or C's and G7s. Or you can transpose it in your mind. Transposing is to change the key. This is a high key for me or way too low, but I'll just give you a few words of it. Starting on that G note. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. So the same song with the same order of chords, 1s and 5s, but we can play it in C with a G7 or F with a C7. That should be good enough for today. I was going to add a little bit of melody, but I think this will be plenty. This seems to have been going on a little bit long already. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.